Hey everyone, today we're going to introduce the topic statistics. If I tell you that you've seen statistics before and you've come across it, you're going to think where? I'm going to tell you you've seen it on TV, on the internet, at school, probably even everywhere. Let's understand what statistics is all about. Statistics is a topic in mathematics that we hear about daily. Statistics is a field of mathematics that involves collecting data and organizing it to gain information on trends and patterns, and we find results from statistics. Statements like, today was the hottest day in 20 years, or 30% of students catch the bus to school, or 5 out of 7 students in our class enjoy mathematics, or 70% of students buy their lunch at the canteen. All these statements are made, and we've heard similar statements on TV or on the internet. How are these statements made? They need to be justified. There has to be some kind of statistics, some kind of collecting information for them to make that kind of statement or that kind of judgment. So these statements will come by someone actually conducting some kind of statistics work. Now let's go through and understand it even better. To explain statistics, we are going to use this basic example. Our school canteen is changing its drink menu next year, and they want to know the type of drinks students prefer to drink. So the school canteen would like to actually sell new types of drinks next year. They would like to know what drinks do the students actually prefer. That way, the drinks that they don't need, they won't actually order anymore and they won't sell. And they'll only focus and order the drinks that students actually want to drink and order at school. So here we have this basic example. How is the canteen and the staff in the canteen going to know the best way or the best drinks that students actually like? They need to use statistics. They need to gather information, collect information. And to collect information, that means they're going to use the field of statistics. Collect information, and based on that information, they can make a judgment and they can decide on the best drinks for them to start ordering and offer for sale next year. Okay, so statistics has 3 main steps, and today we're going to be looking at step 1. In statistics, the 3 main steps are: first, collecting and gathering the data, collecting the information from the students. In this example, we're going to be using the canteen and the drinks in the canteen. So, collecting and gathering the data from the students. Step number 2, sorting and displaying the data. So, bringing the information from all the different students and sorting it out and putting it in tables or in graphs. That way we can understand which are the most common drinks that students like. And thirdly, analyze the data to make judgments on results and the trends and the patterns of what students actually like. So basically, after collecting the information, putting it into tables, putting it into graphs, we can now make an analysis. We can analyze and find out and see the results and make a judgment on the best type of drinks to have for sale next year at the school canteen. They're the 3 main steps. Today we're going to be looking at step number 1. Let's do that now. Step number 1, we are collecting and gathering the data. So now the canteen staff need to know the information regarding selling the new drinks next year. They need some information from the students. They're going to ask them by conducting a survey, a questionnaire. They're going to ask students what drinks they prefer to see for sale in the new canteen menu. Alright, so to collect and gather the data, there are 2 main ways. Either to conduct a census or to conduct a sample. What's a census? What's a sample? A census is basically to survey everyone in the population. So for example, in a high school there are 900 students. They're going to ask the 900 students, every single one, ask them to complete this survey. You can imagine it's going to be costly, a lot of printing, a lot of pens, a lot of work. And it's going to be time consuming, making sure that every single student out of the 900 is asking or is answering these questions in the survey. Well, what happens? It becomes too hard and it becomes a big task. So the second method is to conduct a sample. A sample is basically randomly a group is selected from the total population that represents the population. For example, choosing 30 students from year 7, 30 from year 8, 30 from year 9, 30 from year 10, and 30 from year 11, and 30 from year 12. So that way we choose a small group from the whole population. Now, when it comes to samples, there are 3 types. We're looking at each one by one. So now the school canteen decided to conduct a sample. It is easier, less time consuming, and less costly. There are 3 types. Which one do they choose? The first type is called a random sample. A random sample is taken randomly from anyone without following a certain method or order. So the canteen staff, they grab their questionnaires and they walk out in the playground, they top over all the basketball courts, they go into the classrooms and they just see any student randomly, and they ask them to fill out the survey. They don't follow any system, they just randomly ask anyone. That is called a random sample. The other type of sample is a systematic sample. What's a systematic sample? It follows a predetermined system of dividing the population. So basically, they decide that, you know what, we're going to ask every 3rd students we come across. They walk in the playground, lunchtime and recess, and every 3rd student they come across, they ask them to fill out the survey. So they're choosing every 3rd or every 2nd or every 5th student that they see. They're following a system. That is a systematic survey. A stratified sample. What do we do here? Well, basically, the population, the school population, is divided into categories, into subgroups, and then selecting members from each category, from each subgroup, and then surveying them. So here we have the total population of 900 students. The 900 students are divided into their grade or in their year groups. So we have year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11, and year 12. Each year is a subcategory. And then choosing 30 from each year. 30 from year 7, 30 from year 8, 30 from year 9, 30 from year 10, 30 from year 11, and 30 from year 12. So now, out of the 900, there's 150 in year 7, we choose 30 of them. 150 in year 8, we choose 30 of them. 150 in year 9, we choose 30 of them. That way, we take a percentage, or we take a group from each year group. That way, we are choosing a population that represents the total population from year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, 11, and year 12. And that way, the questionnaire, the survey is fair and it's conducted, making everyone happy that they've actually asked people from year 7 all the way to people in year 12. So these are the 3 types of samples available. This is used when we are in step 1. We are still collecting the data and we are gathering the data. In another lesson, we're going to be looking at sorting and displaying the data in graphs and tables. And another lesson, we're going to be looking at analyzing the data.